1870 to 1875, Grant, Reconstruction, and the federal boot on the Klan's neck. If Lincoln stretched the Constitution to save the Union, Ulysses S. Grant used the Insurrection Act to force the Union to still mean something afterward. And this is the part of the story that almost never gets told straight. After the Civil War, the shooting stopped, but the rebellion did not. It simply shed its uniforms and went underground. What emerged in the defeated South was a campaign of organized terror aimed at undoing Reconstruction by any means necessary. Enter the Ku Klux Klan. This was not a loose collection of hayseeds and pillowcases. It was a paramilitary insurgency, coordinated, violent, and explicitly political. Its goal was to overthrow Republican state governments, suppress black voting, and nullify federal authority through intimidation and murder. State governments either could not stop it, or they would not. Grant understood something that many later presidents would prefer to forget. When states abdicate their responsibility, sovereignty does not vanish, it merely defaults upward. Between 1870 and 71, Congress passed the Enforcement Acts, including the Ku Klux Klan Act, explicitly grounding their power within the Insurrection Act. Grant used that authority frequently and aggressively. Federal troops were deployed. Habeas corpus was suspended in parts of South Carolina. Thousands of Klansmen were arrested. The organization was effectively shattered within less than a year. This is the point where modern sensibilities often grow uncomfortable. Federal troops occupying American states, mass arrests, suspended civil liberties. And yet, elections were held, black citizens voted, Republican governments functioned. The rule of law, though imperfect and fragile, reasserted itself. Grant invoked the Insurrection Act more than any other president, and by a very wide margin. Not because he was power-hungry, but because Reconstruction was a counterinsurgency campaign masquerading as peacetime governance. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The federal government only succeeded in protecting civil rights when it was willing to enforce them at the point of a bayonet. And when that willingness faded in the mid-1870s, so then did Reconstruction. The lesson is a stark and deeply unfashionable one. Rights unenforced are rights revoked. The Insurrection Act did not betray American liberty in this era. It defended it briefly, incompletely, and at enormous political cost. When federal enforcement ended, local despotisms swiftly rushed back in, which brings us neatly along to the next phase when the act is no longer used to suppress rebellion, but to break strikes, disperse mobs, and manage the growing pains of an industrial empire.